I'm talking to Johan Gouws, head of ABSA Asset Consultants. Superior and sustainable outcomes, Johan, was the topic for your panel. Tell me about it.
Well, I think the question was really, when we say, superior and sustainable outcomes, what does it really mean for the member? What do we understand about that? If you have to look at the different parts of the value chain in the industry, you look at the asset managers, the advisors, and ultimately, in the end, the members of retirement funds or the investor, the man in the street. If we say you had superior and a superior outcome, is that the best investment performance? Is that the best advice that was given, or is that the best ability to retire? And one need to really clearly differentiate between that. And I think the problem or the challenge that we're still sitting with is that the interest of the various parties in the value chain is not necessarily aligned. So if we're talking sustainable outcomes, we need to take a more longer term view. A sustainable or superior outcome from an asset manager perspective might be investment performance. And most of the time, it's a short term kind of based thing, where what we're looking at here is a long-term based type of outcome. So you also need to shift your thinking from long-term more to a longer-term type of perspective.
Could you go back to defined benefit funds?
Well, so defined benefit funds, I think, is seen more as a legacy at this point in time, and people are just trying to find the best solutions in terms of making sure, that pot of money that's sitting in those funds will actually last long enough to see those members that's still sitting in those funds through. So that challenge will always remain. I think the whole move towards defined contribution again has put such a lot of the interest, or let's say the pressure really back on the member in terms of making the right decision.